we basically work on designs and we try to see like how we are solving the problem. What a great topic today, power to change. We all are here to share all our experience to tell you like in the last 20 decade, in the last 2 decades, how we have transformed and able to understand the problems and how my failure and how we have turned the failure into opportunity and now into a business. So we are talking about igniting the change within. Now, I am a design entrepreneur as well as where I believe that design is something which can change the world. There are some countries which were not supposed to be existed at this point of time, whether I have to name whether it's Denmark or Netherlands. And because they have implemented the design in their communities, in their places where their 26% of their land is being regenerated to use and expand the country. Now we are here to talk about in terms of how the design is going to change our life, our values, and our sustainability towards it. Now everybody will be talking about that sustainability is a buzzword. Now it's also a overused word where people start using it out as one of the trend or as out of fashion. But you need to understand that when it comes to sustainability, the word whole mean becomes like something which has to sustain. We are the people are not sustainable, but this land, this mother earth, this air, this water, everything is sustainable. Now, what we are doing it all over here is for our well-being, for our living on this thing, we are using it out is some cost of carbon footprint when we are using it, we are releasing it out to this place. We never count that what kind of damage and, what kind of, on what cost exactly we are running this planet as. Now, I will take you to a couple of references. So, I'll just take you around in terms of, by the time the slides are getting click. We as a citizen of this country, and because of the way we're living out over there, we are more conscious about the fashion forward things, the lifestyle thing, never count what kind of carbon footprint we are releasing. Now, if you have to go back and see for every day, every work we do it, everything what we are working on, there is some kind of carbon footprint we are releasing. Now, just to give you one small example, I think when I was studying it out to understand what kind of problem we are solving and how exactly we will be going forward to solve this, I went to a lot of industry leader. I went to study a lot of things to understand that going forward, what is the best way? How can we understand that what is the real problem? But unfortunate part is all the problems today in terms of the design, it is on the over. Now nobody is going in terms of deeper. Now, more important was like loss of the bodies. I think most of the bodies, when I went to look for a solution, and they were talking about the blame game. Either most of the government bodies are blaming the communities, and the communities are blaming to the social responsible people. And it has always been like pointing the finger and out over there. I did the reverse engineering, and we went back and tried to understand that how to solve this particular thing. I'll give you one small example. We started building a lot of retail places where we understand what is the right value. Is it a functional? Is it the aesthetic? Or it is a decor or the thing. And we found it out that I think more important when we were working on the aesthetic value and we were talking about more on the, I would say, the impact and the functional, we always leave that there is something called a carbon footprint, which we are never, counting on it. Now, how to go about? There are some USGBC, which is called United States Building Council, have worked out a lot of beautiful product, like something called Well. And they have a lot of other products like Elite. When I went and studied those all things, what we found that these all the product which is built for the building performance. Now, the user, like we have to see whether how much happiness index we are having to use those places. The workspaces are fancy, the beautiful malls, there is some great thing, but I see the happiness index is somewhere getting close. And that's the reason why I'm here to talk about. There are few things which we need to learn and few things we need to unlearn also in this. And the unlearning part is something which has been forced, which we have not put our mind to it, and we have never understood how exactly it will be going to work. Now, how to do that within? Are we waiting for some government, some other person to solve this entire sustainable tea problem? No. We have to understand that we are the people who have to change it. And that required a mindset change. We need to reset our mind. We need to see that we are not here to prove a point. We are not here to make our ego in the first place, but we need to see how the my next person is feeling, and that's called empathy, where we are talking about. More important that more than the look and feel, we need to see how this design is impacting the world. What kind of response this design is having? Is this house is really responsive? Is it good for my health? Is this office is good for my health? So we need to understand that there are some few basic things are there which need to be corrected in our thing, and there are some great ways which I am going forward to discuss with you how exactly we are doing it out. Now, my personal journey as an army brat, I grew up with a lot of lushy gardens, camps, cantonment, and it's a blessing where in my childhood I have been growing up with the schools which is within the cantonment and is a lushy garden with no boundaries on it. And at the same time in my career, moved on to the garden city, I have seen the kind of city which we have, which was there and which is right now because of the fast pace, and everything has happened over the city. And we really feel that there is a big change which need to be done. And to do that, when I went out, I was really disappointed because I was not able to find any concrete solution yet. Now, how to do that? So I went building some fancy offices, we built some fancy PVRs, we built some fancy multiplexes, but always there was a conscious feel, is this design is responsive? Because every time my client used to come after 5 years or 10 years, they used to keep, revamp the place, or we used to, and that's where we used to feel that, oh, so much of, resources has been gone to build this place. And now we just have to break it just for make it more aesthetic, which is not right. And going forward, then we became understand that it is also about the demand which the market creates or the people need. Now everything is aligned based on what exactly we are looking it out. It's almost like the demand and the supply thing. Now the demand is here, it's more of on the aesthetic element rather than in the impact. So that's how the people are looking it out. To solve this, we looked at the design just not looks supposed to be just a good. It need to be responsive. It need to be productive. It need to make sure that my building performs so well. In the summer, my rooms are cooler, and in my winter, my rooms are warmer. So that is how the design language has to be changed, and we have worked out in the past. And to do that, we need not have to look back to the Western world. Now, there are some countries which has a great design language, whether it's Denmark, Sweden, Germany, and things. And most of our architects and all of our government bodies have tried to replicate those buildings like skyscraper, glass. But we don't understand India or Asian countries have a different climatic condition. And the same heat and the same sun, when it has hit down to our glasses, it has created a lot of heat to our building. Our energy efficiency for the air conditioning has gone high, and we are burning more fuel and more energy towards it. We didn't understood that those designs were good for the cold countries. And those countries need those glass facade where the sunlight need to enter for warming up their workspaces. So we need to be little mindful enough in terms of when we are getting inspiration from some design rather than completely copying it out. If I had to look back, our great inspiration is our heritage. All the buildings, all the monuments which has been built up in the past, and in that I would one of the project which is the one of the moment called Hawa Mahal in the Jaipur, which is like one of the greatest architectural design, which cools down the entire hot air to cooler in a and that is being designed, I think, the ages back. So you can understand if we have to take an inspiration, then nothing less than our heritage buildings are. Now, going forward, now my professional journey, when I started working on it, we built everything. And when we looked back and we understood that, okay, what kind of damage we have worked out in this world. And with that conscious feel, we went back to study more, and we have aligned ourselves in terms of 3 SDG goal, that is United States Sustainable Development Goal. They have 17 goals. We have picked up 3 on that and tried getting in more on the research part and try to understand that how we can create an impact. The every design we do it, it should create a great impact to your place. Now, well-being is something which is more on our happiness, because a lot of people, in the offices, they have fancy offices, but there are a lot of stress are there. You have everything great. The reason is nobody is talking about the user, because you need to understand that every design which has to be done, it has to be human centric. Now, keeping that into a mind, well-being and the good health is one of the biggest challenge for now. And I'm happy that there is a lot of responsible people have come forward to bring a solution to it. Now, second is on the innovation and the infrastructure. Now, we also shifted a gear to understand that how to do a digital transformation to this brand, so that if a person is looking it out for a 1 lakh square feet, how that 1 lakh square feet of the design space can be come to a 1,000 square feet. Now, I'll tell you one example. Now, if somebody has a 50,000 product, if he has to present those 50,000 product, it required quite a big large space. Now, what we are talking about, how aesthetically we can take it to a design language and make it as a digital transformation. So, keeping that into mind, we started infusing a lot of innovation, because we have to remember one thing: no matter whatever the sustainability and the eco-friendliness and the sustainable goal we are talking about, without a tech, nothing is going to integrate it. So we understand, and we took the technology or as a tech as one of our tool, where we started integrating and started building a lot of dashboards for a lot of government bodies, for them to understand that what exactly is the problem, how to narrate it out, how to audit it out, and how to troubleshoot it out. One small case example is one of our, because Bangalore has been one of the IT city, the energy has to be seamless, but because of the lot of power cut, the government body was facing a lot of problems. So we came back with a solution. Hey, why not to create a dashboard where we understand what is our requirement, how much is our consumption, how much we are predicting it out, and how much we need to burn more fuel to suffice that. And after that, this particular small dashboard helps the entire government body to give a power completely a seamless. Here is a one small picture which I can show you. This is, I think, one of the Bangalore's electricity dashboard, where the entire Bangalore's power get controlled from here. Now, this is one of the small example which I was talking about, called digital transformation, where the entire data comes to a one center, like how much power is being generated through a clean energy, whether it's a hydro or a solar, and how much power I have to get it by burning the diesel, and how much power I have to buy from other person to suffice the need of a city. So this is kind of the dashboard which enables now the users to take a decision, because everybody aware of the problem, everybody want a solution, but nobody is working on it. And to do that, we need to facilitate a lot of tools. Other than the sustainability, we started working on the innovation as well. The third is responsible consumption. We in our life, once we use any product, we try to discard, and every time our shelf life in terms of any product becomes shorter and shorter. Everything has to be new and more, and I think that is piling up a lot of things, whether it comes to fashion, whether it comes to lifestyle. We've been a biggest consumer more and more. Going forward, now that's going to create a lot of big problem. Our lands are getting filled, our seas are, I don't have to narrate more on the problem. But now, in terms of making it responsible production, where we need to look out that every discarded thing, if you put your design to it, it could be a great product. And looking at that, the last project which we worked out made out of zero concrete and zero steel. We took out all the waste, all the recycled container, and we place it out. We put our design to it, and it make it a 1 lakh square feet, a retail space which completely made out of waste. And tomorrow, if it has to be taken out, it has to be taken out without even a single screw. Now, that is what the design thinking, and that is what the reverse engineering we need to apply when we're coming back. We do not have to go to the conventional way that, okay, the buildings has to be built with a cement mortar. The building can be built out of a lot of natural materials. The next project which are in-house, because we feel that as a designer, we do a lot of damage. So how to compensate back? So we made it out a one small open dashboard where we analyzed, we did a lot of research, went to all the industry leader, and made something which is something called a level awesome. And when it's awesome, we're talking about air, water, sun, mist, everything. How to take care of everything in a way that it should be a little more responsible. Now, for example, all the lands which has got the building has been here. Now, the problem is we don't consider our terrace places as one of the surface area, but in the real life, we not even, we don't leave even an inch of the land. So we here also we have to understand that the free space of the terrace can be also utilized in a lot of other ways. It comes to your activity side, your wellness side, your green space, your open space, your any kind of thing. So we have worked out those modules and so that the user can take it up and put it on his terrace and use it up. Now, going back to how exactly we need to see the change. Now, as I was telling you, like instead of going behind the trends, we need to really look for a real problems. And guys, the real problem today, as everybody know that, and you don't have to tell from the global warming, from the all the environmental thing and the land waste, whatever is happening. So how will we solve it out? Are we waiting for somebody else to work on it? No. It's within us. We need to be responsible. We need to understand that how will I put my mind to it to solve this problem. Now coming back to more on the thing where more than the just a decoration, we need to see is my design is creating any impact to that person's life, and if it yes, then how? Measure it to understand what exactly is the impact. Now, if I had to tell you, a person takes almost like 2 lakh liter of oxygen per day, and in his lifetime, you can understand that it goes to millions. We also need to understand that okay, if I have come to this world, how will I compensate back the thing which I am going to consume from here? Whether it is the water, the air, the oxygen form of oxygen, or anything. Now, how will we do it in terms of making a change on the sustainable where our cities, our communities can thrive for a longer? And for that, what is required is not only the individual, even all the communities to come together. And I'm really great that I have associated with a lot of great communities which are transforming their terrace places, bringing the heat load down, making a completely a different kind of ecosystem altogether. When I see the map of from 2000 till 2025, and I see there are some 80 to 90% of the vegetation has been lost because of our construction. Now, can we go back and demolish this building to bring back? No. The simple idea is the amount of the land area is being gone to build a construction, remember that the same area is available on your terrace. If we can put our design to it, I think we can bring a lot of the green footprint which you have lost to back to the city. Now, coming back to the things, how we are going to do it. Now, is it a single man call? No. It is everything have to be feel responsible, put your design thinking to it, and make sure that everything you do, you just don't follow the books or just follow the people what they are talking about. Because when I did, I was going with no answer. But the moment I put across my design to it, did some reverse engineering it out, and I was able to find a solution where it has impacted quite a great to this world. Now, what is a vision forward for us? Now, we need to understand that we may be the current user of the place, but we need to make sure that this planet Earth has to live for the next generation. And to do that, we need to have a simple responsibility within ourselves to understand what sustainability is looking it up. What exactly this planet need? Do I need to follow certain guidebooks, or I have to follow some institutions what they're teaching, or shall I go take up the things in my hand and make the things out over there? It doesn't need that everything has to be changed over the night. What we need to do it is we need to take 1% of a change in our life, and you have to make sure whether if you're not able to make a bigger impact, I hope everybody will be having a balcony, everybody will be having a small terrace. Let's own those places and start making those places as a greener and give this planet Earth back the greenery what has been lost. With that note, I will thank you so much and look forward that we'll do a greater world. Thank you, sir.